Come on into a special PI Live as our Philadelphia Eagles are in Minnesota, ready to play on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. It doesn't get any bigger than this, the biggest stage as far as football is concerned. I mean, just think about it. It should be a national holiday. It really should. Everybody does. It doesn't matter if your team's in it or not. You're going somewhere to watch this game. You're going to a party. You're going to a bar. I don't care. If you're rooting against the Patriots or go, I would hope. Thank you. There it is. Beautiful picture right there, Ant, as you were saying when you were driving in. Gorgeous green right there. And I apologize. We got Adrian Fedke in the house, Tony Cotillo in the house. And
Yo.
Hi, Ant. Ant Maz. A-Maz. We need to come up with a nickname.
A-Maz.
Maziotti, right?
I like Maz.
A-Maz. Maz?
Let's go with Maz. Straight up Maz.
A-Maz in the house. As we are going to kick a little Super Bowl 52 conversation tonight in the beautiful Philly Influencer Studios, man. It doesn't get any bigger than this. I can't wait for this game. I know that everybody else is basically on the same page as I am when it comes down to it, because it's the battle of the two GOATs, or one GOAT, and Nick Foles is chasing that. Tom Brady, obviously, we all know what the hell he's been through. What's this, his 8th Super Bowl? Is this his 8th Super Bowl? Yeah, I mean, he's won 5, lost 2. This is number 8. And Nick Foles, who has really bounced on the scene and just stepped up in the second half of the Falcons game and hasn't looked back since. And I was doing a show today with Bleeding Green Nation, John Barchard, and I said, I got all the confidence in the world, boys. I really do. Before we go into the game, I want to talk a little bit about last night, if I could, and the whole media day, and we'll start there. And the reason why I'm starting there is because I didn't have a problem. I heard that there was I saw that there was a sports radio host. Oh, fuck it, I'll say it. Missinelli, I guess, came on the airwaves and said he wasn't a fan of the dog's mask. And second level thinking, Mike, which is something that he taught me a long time ago, right, is that, look, here's the deal. Anything that you can grasp on to make you, feel disrespected is a good thing. And that's why I looked at those dog masks. I thought it was funny. Anything that you can, grab a hold of and motivate you with, I'm down with it, especially when it comes to playoff football. So I was okay with it. Last night, I loved the fact that the Minnesota Viking fans were in the building booing us, don't want us there. It's adding an extra element into the Eagles, just as far as the disrespect, another chapter in the disrespect. Here we are. We should be, not cheered on, but we shouldn't be booed when we take the frickin' stage. That shouldn't happen. But those classless Vikings fans that are still crying about a 38-7 beatdown, direct your attention at the people that matter. Your frickin' team that didn't even show up after they scored that first touchdown. That's who you should be angry with, not the frickin' Eagles fans. That's for damn sure. But to my point, guys, I love the fact that we're not welcome there. It's just another added element into this whole saga of disrespect. And if that's something that's going to motivate them, you know what? They're going to look at everybody in that locker room and say, fuck them. They don't want us here. Let's get the trophy and let's get the hell out of here.
I mean, no one likes us. We don't care.
There it is.
That's what it is.
Yep.
And let me tell you something about that opening night. I mean, I slept through the first hour with Tom Brady and the monotony of Bill Belichick. I mean, the big story for them was to see how many times Belichick was smiling. So that wasn't really fun. But then when the Eagles took the stage, I mean, you had Brandon Graham in a dog mask. You had Jalen Mills fooling around about whether he smokes blunt in practice. I thought that was really funny.
From Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
And Jalen Mills hit him with the double tech.
Double tech. Yeah, it was hilarious.
2 times.
Yeah. So a lot of great moments last night. Malcolm Jenkins. Mm-hmm. Lay Johnson with the sunglasses.
Do you guys know
flag.
Snow is Informer? Da-da-da-da. It's like an early 90s song. I don't know. Tony, you would know it, right?
I definitely know that.
He reminded me of Snow last night.
That's great.
Yeah, that Naughty by Nature hat and then those shades. I love those shades.
What a song.
Jenkins, when he was like, I got that 99-yard touchdown pick 6 in my man cave with Brady right there. I thought that was funny. So just a lot of fun last night and a lot of pride too. City of Philadelphia, you see your team out there, and there you go. So awesome night last night.
It was, and I don't know if you had an opportunity. You said you watched it last night.
I caught some of it.
Anything catch your eye? Because, like I said, I was happy with the disrespect. I really was, and then I just felt like, you know what? Look, if you were a media credential member, or I'm sure they were all credentialed, but if you were a local media person and you wanted to do some digging and you did some, some due diligence and you were able to come up with a good topic, you had access to guys that you didn't have access all season long. Carson Wentz was there. You haven't had access to him since week 13. Howie Roseman was taking questions. Joe Douglas was answering questions. Jeffrey Lurie was out in the cut answering questions. So
he wasn't dancing, was he?
No, he wasn't dancing. Not yet, baby. He's got those Sunday shoes ready to go, though. Yeah. My point is, so if you wanted to get some good, really X's and O's or stuff that's been on your mind all season long, you could have got that accomplished. But there's over 5,000 media members that were credentialed, and a lot of it was the same damn question over and over. A lot of it was people that are in the regular news, not the sports world. Not to say sports people are better, but there's just a different type of question coming from the anchor at 6 o'clock versus the sports guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I didn't really mind it. I get it. It's anything bigger. Obviously, they walk these guys out now. They all have their own podiums. It's crazy, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay.
Oh, I meant to talk. Yeah, I don't know if did he actually mean tacos or the other tacos? Which tacos did he mean?
Whoa! I didn't get that. She makes great tacos. That's all he said.
That's what people were joking about on the tweet. All the comments were like, "Well, which kind of tacos are you talking about?"
Oh my goodness! Go hang out with that comment section, would you? No, he was talking about his damn wife, and she makes good tacos.
But the comments cracked me up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It didn't hit me at first. I was like, "Oh, okay, I get it."
Yeah, Michael Irvin asking those damn questions.
Yeah, so we also had some newsworthy stuff come out of it too. Darren Sproles and Jason Peters both kind of hinting that they're both going to be back next season. So that's really cool to see.
I mean, how old is Darren Sproles? I welcome the little man back.
Yeah.
How old is he?
34?
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head.
Is he?
I don't know off the top of my head.
And Jason Peters too.
Yeah, Jason Peters up there.
Nice.
But it's awesome to see that they don't want to go out the way that they did. So they might be back.
I thought for sure breaking the arm and tearing the ACL in the same play.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, you forget about that. You forget about what he all went through in that one freaking play. Yeah. Didn't he snap his neck too or something in that play? I mean,
it was going on.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. We are all over the place. We are on Periscope. We are on Facebook Live. So please, any questions, comments, whatever, just shoot them at us. And Tony Cotillo's over there. He's looking. He's searching. He's scouring the web, trying to find what you guys are saying out there. So any questions, hit us up, please. We'll do a little mailbag segment at the end of this. We'll take some good questions.
PI mailbag.
PI mailbag. So if you see any that catch your eye, write them down, please. So this way you have them at the end, and definitely show some love to the person asking. Well, we've been doing it all season long. Tony and Adrian and I have been doing it every Tuesday night. Anthony has been a great addition to This is your second show, so I don't know if you've been a great addition. You're just an addition at this point, right? I kid.
He needs to get irked a little bit. That's what I think it is.
I know.
We got to argue. I've argued with everybody on this show so far.
We got to fire him up a little bit. Yeah.
It just goes one ear out the other. And for me at this point, I just let you two go at it.
But Ant did have a good post that I want to get to about top 5 moves that Howie Roseman did, and it was off of Tim McManus's post that he put out there on Monday, which really, really opened my eyes. Tim referenced a 9-day stretch, 7 names that were added that ultimately made a difference. So we'll get into that. But just a little bit more on last night. Again, it's Minnesota. I'll tell you, people are like, you going to Minnesota? You're going to Minnesota? I'm okay with not going to Minnesota.
Yeah, who the hell wants to go to Minnesota at this point?
The Mall of America is Radio Row. King of Prussia is a dope mall. It's right up the road. I would much rather go there than Minnesota.
Well, they don't have a roller coaster.
But they have a carousel.
And they do have a Hooters. Just saying.
And my boy Frank runs it. Shout out Frank Wilson.
And I'm sure they got cheesesteaks maybe too.
Yeah.
Cheesesteaks?
Do they have a cheesesteak?
Oh, Hooters? Yeah,
they got hula hoops.
They do cheesesteaks. I don't know if you want to eat a cheesesteak with Hooters, but I'm sure it's all right.
Do they have a...
Where are we going now? Where are we going with that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Adrian and his dirty freaking food mind. Tacos.
Tacos are on my mind.
What the hell is going on over here?
Tacos on my mind.
But yeah, I saw, shout out Fox 29, all the local stations doing a great job covering it. But I saw, I think 13 people from the station are in Minnesota, camera people, all that. But Jarek and Alex Holly are doing a freaking ice fishing segment, and Jarek looked miserable.
Oh, I'd be
miserable. So it's just like, if the Super Bowl is in Miami, you're doing warm weather, you're out on the beach, you're walking South Beach, all that. because it's Minnesota, you're doing ice fishing, you're skiing, you're doing that dumb shit, and it is cold out there, man.
I think that's another reason why we didn't see as many Eagles fans as we might have thought there would be last night. They just haven't arrived yet.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Who wants to take a week off for Minnesota?
Yeah, not at
Nobody.
all. I mean, that's the thing. You get out there for a week, you're going to stay 7 days in Minnesota in that weather. No. And for the people that want to chime in and say there's heated hallways or whatever underground, like, yeah, I'm sure there is. But guess what? You got to go outside eventually.
Yeah.
You know, what are you, Dracula?
14 degrees in Minnesota right
Yeah, I think it was.
Actually, it's like 9. It's supposed to be like 4 degrees on Sunday.
Somebody woke up and it was
4 degrees, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of something I forgot to talk about earlier, with another great video was Jason Kelsey talking about
Nick Foles' dong.
No, no, you
Big Dick Nick.
Hey, man, so I'm the weird one.
Well, I mean, it's just so funny.
Hey, this is documented.
Yeah,
I mean,
but he was talking about how
my man's got a hammer.
Minnesota is just filled with salt at the moment. It was great.
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous because that conversation started 4 years ago. Nick Foles was hung like a horse, and then
it's
now,
always on the wrong people. That's all I'm saying.
And then E-Rock,
women and God. I'm sorry.
Shout out E-Rock and 4th and John for having us last Tuesday. But E-Rock took a picture.
Yes.
He had a picture of Nick Foles, and it was just Foles standing there on the stage, and he's like, "I can't take my eyes off it." I'm just like, what is going on right now? All right, but hey, let it. I was just almost said let it grow. I was talking about his legend. I was talking about the legend of Nick Foles, not actually his balls.
Dogs, tacos, and balls.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
The legend of Nick Foles, let it grow, because if he wins a Super Bowl, build that man a statue. That's all I care. I don't even give a damn. All right, anybody can get a statue. They win a Super Bowl. Again, Minnesota, whatever. The fans don't want us. I love it. Extra added juice, whatever. Let's move on. Let's talk about halftime show. And I'm just wondering, Justin Timberlake, is he going to bring out Janet Jackson again and a little Nipplegate? And speaking of last night, if I was trying to get attention, I would have dressed up as Janet Jackson's nipple, as you're seeing it right now, for the people that are watching at home. But yeah, so look, the game, it's going to be crazy. The juice is going to be just absolutely going crazy. And you got to say to yourself, I'm a little worried in the first drive. I just hope that Nick Foles is able to contain himself. I just hope the offense is able. I don't want to waste one of those drives, especially to start the game. So I'm looking at Doug Peterson. Do you guys think that I'm a little out, over the top on that? Just let it play out. How would you go ahead and attack on the first drive in Super Bowl 52 for the Eagles?
Yeah, you know what? I would definitely go to the RPOs, and I would actually
up the shoot.
Yeah, I would let Nick kind of fling it a little bit, because you want him to start hot and get confident early on. And obviously he's coming in with a lot of confidence. So that's what I'm doing. RPOs, mix in the screen game. That was something that the Jaguars were doing really well in the AFC Championship game with Corey Grant. So screen game, RPOs, go right down the field. Let's see if they could do it. And in terms of New England, they are a team that starts slow in the Super Bowl. I believe they have never scored in the first quarter of a Super Bowl. I don't know if that's correct, but I think I heard that. So it's on the other side, they start slow. So we'll see.
Yeah. Did you know, I've said this every damn podcast I've been on. I probably said it last week when we were there. Tom Brady's trailed every Super Bowl. Every Super Bowl they have trailed.
Makes sense.
That's crazy. So that's the problem. When you sit here and say, I think the Eagles are going to have their way, Patriots aren't going anywhere.
No.
They're going to be there until that clock strikes.
And the thing about the RPO, it's not going to be that simple, because they mix and disguise their coverages really well. One possession, they'll play zone. Next possession, they'll blitz. The next possession, they'll play press man coverage. So they're going to mix a lot of different things. We're not going to see like the cover 3 from Atlanta, and we see that throughout the entire 60 minutes, or the man-to-man coverage in Minnesota. We're going to be seeing a lot of different looks. So we'll see if Foles can handle all that. Because the RPO, it's not going to be as easy this week.
No.
It's not going to be easy.
Maz, what do you got? What would you do first drive out the gate? Is it a little bit more of a feeling out for you?
I wouldn't change a damn thing. I would just do what Doug's done all year long. Just go out, keep being aggressive, just keep doing your thing. Don't change because it's the Super Bowl. And when you get that lead, keep attacking, keep building on it. Just keep the foot on the gas and snap their neck.
Love it.
Pressure.
Love it.
Yes.
Not give up.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, look, offensively, I think as I was standing there, I'm sorry, Tone, you're over there on Facebook, so I apologize.
No, I'm good.
Your thoughts first drive?
Balls out.
Don't change a thing.
Even though that first, it was probably weather predicated, but even though that first Atlanta play looked like him throwing the dart from a Nerf gun.
Oh yeah,
I'm going all out again.
That's a
play
good,
action.
There you go,
right down the field
because it's indoor controlled environment.
Yep.
So if he wants to sling it, he can
Yep.
sling it. So
Sling it out.
You're just balls out.
Balls out,
New
man.
England's
Balls
also
out.
30th in pass defense, so I think I would definitely start.
Really?
Yeah,
30th?
that's what. Yeah.
Jeez.
And that's the thing is they got Stephon Gilmore, Malcolm Butler, but they got Patrick Chung in the slot.
Yep.
I think Nelson Aguilar can have a field day against him because. What did I say?
Patrick Chung.
Sorry about that. I meant Eric Rowe.
Yeah, you did.
I was thinking Patrick Chung with potentially if Ertz gets matched up against him. But with Eric Rowe, he's a guy that's a little stiff-hipped. He's more of an outside guy. He's playing the slot kind of out of necessity, not a lot of depth. New England's cornerback. So I think the quickness of Nelson Aguilar is gonna fare very well against Rowe.
What's going on? His mic all right? Can't hear it? Well, he should be. He's coming in. Okay. We apologize. There you go.
Well, I'm glad
Yeah,
you corrected me.
Yeah.
Because I know Patrick Chung's a safety.
And I did turn you up on this one, so I was turning you up on this board, but really it should have been this one. So hopefully that corrected the issue. But everybody else good? Everybody else happy? How we looking?
Good, man.
How's it look, Tone?
It looks nice.
All right. Talking to the mic next time, though. See, this is what happened when I don't have a mic on the stand. You forget to talk into it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
There you go. No, you're good.
Yeah, I'm not used to grabbing things like that.
Look, I feel like when I was standing at the AFC or the NFC Championship game and looking down, I had great view, and it just looked like the offense for the Eagles was just it was so clean and easy, and I don't want to really make it out to be like that. But my guess, or what I'm wondering is, my question is this, and I'll throw this to you, Adrian, is if it's so simple, don't you think a guy like Bill Belichick would probably be able to figure it out?
Yes, because you got to think about it this way, too. You had a new quarterback, obviously, after Wentz went down, with a new game plan coming into the postseason. So not a lot of tape of what you're seeing. Now you got 2 weeks of tape. So Bill Belichick, Matt Patricia, they're going to be breaking this stuff down. And the way to beat the RPO is to play zone. So I'm expecting linebackers to buzz where the slants would be. So they will have a game plan. The other thing about New England, what they do is they try to take your best player away. Mm-hmm. Well, the thing about the Eagles, they have so many weapons and so many players that can do different things. Who are they going to take away? Because you have Ertz.
They're going to try to take away Ertz away.
That's what I would think.
I just think they're going to,
I would think that too, because on the outside, you do have Malcolm Butler and Stephon Gilmore, and I think you can go one-on-one with Gilmore and Jeffrey. I think that might work for them. But yeah, there's a lot of different weapons. I mean, all right, so they want to double team Ertz. We got Aguilar, we got Jeffrey, we got a great running game. So a lot of weapons that they have to defend.
What a difference a year makes, huh?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really is.
No,
Last year we had DGB. That was our number 2. Yeah.
And who was the other guy that they picked up in his first game was against the Seahawks? He was DeCal. He wasn't even drafted. The receiver from Cal.
Bryce Treggs.
There you go.
Bryce
Oh,
Treggs.
everybody said,
Yeah.
thank God for Bryce Treggs.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh, I remember. He had that deep bomb against the Giants.
Oh,
Everyone's
my
like,
God.
he's it.
Yeah.
He's the weapon.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
just
the one.
laughing my ass off. I'm like, stop it.
That wasn't the case at all.
2 more catches after that.
Honestly.
Bryce Treggs.
And that was it.
He was one of the fancy pickups of the year, let me tell you.
No, so I mean, I look at the Eagles having weapons, and I think that the Patriots are going to do their job shutting out or taking Zach Ertz away, especially in the red zone area. But I look at a guy like Alshon Jeffrey. I look at a guy like J.J. coming out of the backfield. Those are my 2 prop bets, by the way. 2 prop bets, 2 touchdowns for the Eagles. Give me Alshon Jeffrey, J.J. They both score.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like
both
that.
Score.
I
I
like
still
that.
got to look at more prop bets, and I got to get my
Love
hands,
the prop bets.
Yeah, I got to get my hands on that
Prop bets are
halftime
great.
prop
I
bet.
love
man.
Nelson Aguilar in this game because of
Do
that
you?
matchup with Rowe.
Roach
You
stinks.
matched up with him in college. You went off 10 for 110, no touchdowns.
There you go.
Utah in 2000.
Ooh.
Hey now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Also,
Too stiff-hipped, telling you.
one of my prop bets that I always bet on
Stiff-hip.
the color of the Gatorade, and just so
Oh, the color of the Gatorade.
the NFC Championship game was yellow. As I'm pulling it up right now, let's go there. It was yellow, but I'm not feeling yellow.
No, I'm not feeling yellow either.
I'm feeling orange. Orange is my bet. I'm going orange. Mark me down. There's my 3 prop bets right there.
So
2
what
touchdowns.
colors
I'm
do
gonna
they
go
give you?
blue.
I think
Just throw it out
You got red, you got your orange,
That's
you
it.
got your
I was
yellow.
gonna say, is blue in there?
I don't think so. It would be like more of a field. So they'll go field.
Okay.
Maybe the Eagles roll a green out.
Oh,
Who
look,
knows?
and there goes Doug getting a
Yeah.
Gatorade bath.
A little yellow right there.
Like
There
it.
is. Yep.
A weak Gatorade bath for what?
That was
It
weak.
was a week. Yeah.
A weak Gatorade bath.
Yeah.
It was like a neck bath.
Well, it was such a blowout.
what I
They didn't
mean?
know when to do it.
It was
know?
a back bath. Just,
Back bath.
that's what it was.
Let's talk a little bit about the other side. Let's talk about the Eagles defense going up against Brady and that offense. And, we were just talking before the show started, and obviously Gronk is just Gronk. And the question was asked, like, is anyone going to be able to stop him? I don't think that's your case. Obviously, you want to limit him. You don't want to allow him to go for 230 and 3 touchdowns. But if you walk away and Gronk scores 1 touchdown and you got 110, all right, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, but
Still can beat him.
he's important even if he doesn't catch the ball because
He's a great run
He
blocker.
clogs that middle
Yeah.
up. He sets those legal or illegal picks. You know what I mean? So
And he's a great
yeah,
run blocker, too.
Absolutely. So I don't even think he has to catch the ball.
You could argue he's the best blocking tight end, too.
I would say so.
Yeah.
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 Falcons game. Didn't he go like 10 for 100 roughly?
And he had a couple drops, too.
Roughly. So I mean, if Gronk's good, he's going to get the numbers. He's
Yep.
going to get catches unless he goes out hurt again. But so yeah, like you said, to your point, if he goes 10 for about 30 and a touchdown, you take it for what it is.
You just can't let him score in the red zone.
Not the end of the world, yeah.
Kind of like what Kyle Rudolph did 2 weeks ago.
True. Well, here's and this is like, okay, so I asked this question last week, and I threw it out to a lot of people on Twitter, and I got some good reaction. And I'm not trying to be the Debbie Downer. I just want to ask the other side. If you were the Patriots, how would you attack the Eagles' defense? And my only thing is, I just look at the linebackers. That's just I just circled the whole linebacking crew, and I mean no disrespect, but and then I would also say, if you look at the 2 Giants Super Bowls, look at those linebackers. They didn't have the best. I think Chase Blackburn was like 2011 linebacker. I can't even name the other guy.
Pick him like out of a supermarket.
Did they? I mean, they had no, like, they didn't have any good linebackers, and they still were able to get to Brady. So I think is if you want to win this football game, it starts up in that defensive line. And I heard Fletcher Cox say exactly that. But if I was the Patriots, I would try and exploit the linebackers. I don't know how I'd be able to do that. What would you say?
Well, it's not only Gronk. It's the running backs coming out of the backfield. It's James White. It's Deion Lewis. It's Rex Burkhead. These guys might actually cause problems. You think of James White last year. He had 14 receptions in the Super Bowl. So that's something that the Eagles have been struggling with since Jordan Hicks went down, covering backs out of the backfield. I think of J.D. McKissick and what he did when they played Seattle. So this has been a problem somewhat. I think Deion Lewis, that quick kind of jittery guy out in the flats, might be a little dangerous. So that's what I would be worried about. Actually, it's kind of like a under the radar thing. Maybe not a lot of people are thinking about it, but I think that trio coming out of the backfield might be a little difficult because getting the ball out quick, that negates the pressure too from the front 4.
I think that's where the game's going to be won or lost. I think it's going to be Schwartz against McDaniels. I think either way, that's where the game's going to be won. It's not going to be Foles against Patricia. It's going to be our defense against their offense, and I think that's where that chess match. Whoever wins that chess match is going to win the game.
And I'm curious to see what Jim Schwartz comes out with because the Eagles like to play a lot of off coverage. Well, with the Patriots, you want to jam them. You want to press them at the line of scrimmage. You want to disrupt the timing because Brady likes to get the ball out really, really quickly. So it's going to be tough, man, with that defensive line, 4-man rush to get after Brady consistently. I know we've seen it with the Giants in the past in the Super Bowls, and the Eagles kind of have a similar kind of D-line because even when you think about what Brandon Graham has done, lining up as a defensive tackle, that's what they did with Justin Tuck. So that's the recipe to beat the Patriots. Rush with 4, drop back 7, press. You don't play zone. You don't blitz. You play man-to-man. And the Eagles have some of those qualities, but is Jim Schwartz going to let them press? I don't know.
Do you think any chance at all you said linebackers might be a liability, any chance you might see like Malcolm Jenkins or Roddy McLeod dropping down covering one of their running backs out of the backfield? They got to cover better, and they're just as good tackles.
Adrian's the analyst guy.
Well, I think they're going to have. I think they're going to have Jenkins on Gronk.
See,
I think what they might do is they might trot out 3 safeties. They might have Corey Graham out there with some coverage too. And that's something that we saw against the Giants. Evan Ingram, if you remember, that was the adjustment that the Eagles made after Ingram started hot. They put Corey Graham on him. Yeah. So that's something that the Eagles have been doing last month or so, playing 3 safeties out there, one of them being a de facto linebacker.
It's funny that Ant says that because I mentioned that today. Did a show earlier, and I said I think they're going to play Malcolm Jenkins half the time at linebacker. I think they're going to he's going to play like a Deion Jones role. I just think that's the only way we're going to be able to contain Gronkowski, and the only way we contain the crossing routes from Amendola, from the running backs coming out. I think it could be like a secret weapon, so to speak. Who knows?
Say something, please. Talk.
Malcolm Jenkins is a monster. I think he plays so many positions. Like I think he's listed as a free safety, but he drops down. Plays safety, plays linebacker. Can you guys hear me?
No, I love it. I don't know what the hell's up with that mic. It's because it worked when remember we had ads.
I used it before.
Yeah. Now it's not working.
Interesting.
No, you're not in. All right, let's call an audible here. Let's call a hot route. Let's share that mic, please.
Share that mic.
Yeah, let me see that bad boy because I don't know what the hell's going on with it. Huh. I mean, it's lit up. I can hear you through my headphones, the whole 9 yards, but for some odd reason, it's not going through the Facebook live feed. I have no idea why. It's got to be something on the board, so I apologize about that, brother. Dude, I can hear you perfectly through the headphones.
Nah, it's all good.
I got levels. I just have no idea why it would not be going through. Huh.
Well, as you guys talk about that, do you want me to talk about something that you guys might not know, or are we waiting?
Well, you go ahead and do that right now. Please give me something about the Patriots, Adrian Fedke, that I do not know.
Well, the thing about the Patriots is, as we know, earlier on in the season, really, really struggling on the defensive side of the ball, letting up a lot of big plays. Well, they've really clamped down since then. So they allowed 32 points per game in their first 4, but since then, they've allowed just 14 over their last 12, and that actually leads the NFL. So how about that?
Damn.
Would you have thought that New England's defense would be that good?
No, would not have.
No.
And especially the way they started, all that. No, definitely would not have thought that they would.
They give up a lot of yards, but they stiffen
Bend
inside
but don't
the
break,
20.
if you will.
Yeah, bend but don't break.
That's kind of like what the Eagles do. A lot of bend but don't
That's
break.
Ant, by the way, guys. If you want to say hi to Ant, we got his mic
Say
now.
hi to Ant.
Yeah, he's got a mic now. Actually, so I apologize. I'm trying to screw with you there. I bet you I know what it was now. I bet you what I did. Watch this. I don't know. Hang on, though. Who knows? Yeah. We're just trying something out here, folks. Bear with me for a second as I'm trying to figure what the hell this mic is now. Of course, I would pick that up there, too. Keep talking, Adrian.
Yeah, believe it or not, they're actually 7th in sacks as well. Trey Flowers is their big pass rusher, but not really much else after that. So they kind of do things collectively. They did pick up James Harrison against Big V. So that'll be a matchup to watch. Trey Flowers against Lane Johnson. That's going to be a lot of fun, actually. So I look at those matchups, and if Nick Foles can be protected, I think he'll have a good day because I talked about earlier they're 30th in pass defense, and Nick Foles is a guy that struggles with pressure. So if he's kind of kept clean, I think he could have another big game.
If Big V can pitch a shutout against Everson Griffin, I think he should have no problem with James Harrison.
We'll see.
That might be bold. Hot
He
takey.
did allow 9 sacks during the regular season, but he has stepped up big time.
Big
over the
V?
last- Yeah, he's played really well lately.
Okay. No, he absolutely has. He allowed
Yeah.
9 sacks, though. I mean, I think, a couple of them came in one game.
Yeah. But
When did he take over? Like week 11, 10, 11?
I forget already.
I think it was earlier than that. I
Might
don't know.
have
I
been.
could have been wrong. But, I just think that this team is ready, and what they showed against that Vikings is not a fluke. And when you win 15 games, it's not a fluke. And I think that they're going to show up on Sunday and win this freaking thing. My prediction is 29-23. Hate to break it to you out there.
29.
29-23. That's my final
I got
score.
24-23.
24-23.
We're around the same.
Madden, I think, was 24-20. Patriots. Yep, and nobody gives a damn about the Madden.
I got 27-24.
27-24.
Late
Everybody's around the same.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think it's It's going to be around there. It's going to be close.
It's going to be close because the
I don't think it's
average,
gonna be a blowout.
average margin of victory for the Patriots in the Super Bowl only 3.7.
Oh, wow.
And their largest win was actually last season when they won by
6-point win?
6 in
Yep.
overtime.
Every game, it's ridiculous.
close
Every
with
game
them.
is close. Hey, how about this? On Super Bowl Sunday, bringing home for Jerome really takes another level. There's another level to
Dude.
it. It's on his birthday is February 4th. Well, it would have been his birthday.
He'll be
excuse me.
52.
Yeah, and 52, Super Bowl 52. Hello. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're winning, baby.
Yeah.
Eagles by 50.
Jerome Brown. That's right. February
52.
4th, 1965. Yeah. So bringing home for Jerome takes it up another level, that's for sure. And make sure you go out there and support your local T-shirt maker, as I saw this T-shirt out there with Nick Foles.
How about
and
Solo
Carson
checking
Wentz.
in from Austin, Texas? We got Austin,
What's
Texas.
up, Austin?
Go Birds.
Yeah, baby.
Go Birds!
Go Birds. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this because we'll come back to the game. I just want to talk a little bit about the season and that Howie and Joe Douglas have had. And Ant did a great post on this, talking about the top five
Free agents?
out there. But it wasn't even just free agents, right? It was just five
Moves in general.
Yeah,
Just
moves.
off-season
Yeah,
moves.
yeah, exactly. So top 5 moves. And I'm going to bring up this little piece, this post here by Tim McManus, who just laid out all the notable 2017 additions. And, I mean, there's not one miss, boys. I know you had your top 5, Amp, but you just go down the list. It's crazy. There's not one miss. Nick Foles was signed to that deal. I mean, thank God Nick Foles is the backup quarterback right now.
Can you imagine if we were going through this with Chase Daniel? Could you imagine this?
No.
Could you imagine?
Could you imagine if we were going through this with RG3?
Or Colin Kaepernick?
Or Cap?
Wait a minute. Wait, hold
Give
on.
him the mic. Give
Again,
him the mic.
for the record, they were going to be Nick Foles'
I know.
backup.
Yep,
Okay,
yep,
you better
yep,
get it straight.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Putting words in your mouth. LeGarrette Blount. You know, there were some people looking at that going, I don't know about him. Led the Eagles in rushing. Jay Ajayi, love the move. I don't know too many people that were saying anything negative about that move. Hit. Corey Clement, undrafted, 6 touchdowns, 400-plus yards, scrimmage yards. Alshon, dude. Alshon kicked ass and took names. He delivered. Torrey Smith,
Okay, that's he's meh, but
If that's your miss, though, if that's your miss,
exactly.
if that's your miss, then you did something right.
Yeah. No, you're right about that.
I'm used to his miss being DGB.
And if Torrey would have made a couple catches, we can't even call him a miss, right? I mean, his biggest thing is he couldn't catch the freaking ball. You got one job.
yeah, he drops the ball a lot.
Timmy Jernigan, who I love.
Yeah.
Shout out Tim Jernigan. Chris Long, who is playing,
Huge.
you bring him on third
Did 4
down.
strip sacks during the season.
Bring him on third down. He gets after the quarterback. He's a good locker room guy. Donated his salary, which I can't believe didn't get enough more play than what it did.
Not a sexy story. That's the problem.
Well, just a tremendous dude. Derek Barnett, speaking of Chris Long, a guy that probably took him underneath his wing. Derek Barnett, 5 sacks, hit.
Yeah.
Patrick Robinson, jeez. I didn't even know he led
How about him?
Led the
'Cause
Eagles in
everybody
interceptions.
wanted him cut in training camp. You remember that?
led the Eagles in interceptions and pass breakups. Ronald Darby with the trade, 3 picks in 8 games, obviously a playmaker.
He's really stepped up since that Giants game.
Yep. Rasul Douglas, draft pick, 2 interceptions.
I'll give you a bad one, Donnell Pumphrey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's on the IR, if you want to count that.
Yeah, well, they did
Yeah,
draft.
the IR. But
Yeah.
The Phantom IR.
It might have been a bad pick at the end of the day.
It's
You're
okay.
right about that.
I just think that Corey Clement
Makes up for it?
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. I just pretend that he was the one that was drafted. So that's the way I look at it.
Corey Graham, I mean,
I
Corey
forgot
Graham.
about Corey Graham.
Yep,
Yeah.
Corey Graham kicking ass. He had 2 picks in 14 games. And Jake Elliott. Jake Elliott was a great, just a great addition when Caleb Sturgis, right? Sturgis was the
Yeah.
guy. Sturgis goes out, first game of the season. And who comes in? Jake Elliott. Have we even had a conversation about getting another kicker?
From what, Cincinnati? Thank you for that great move from Cincinnati, right?
Yeah,
They decided to keep 40-year-old Randy Bullock, who was trying to repossess his heyday from the Houston Texans. So yeah, that was a great pickup for us.
They were impatient because Elliott was missing a lot of like chip shot field goals in preseason.
Like he has for us a
Not
little
that he
bit.
hasn't for us, yeah.
Right.
But just gave up on him way too quickly.
So I mean, you just think about a great off season
that's
by Howie
unbelievable.
and Joe Douglas. Great off season by both.
A lot
of
of
them.
Christmas cards. I got to send out this year.
Yep.
For apologize.
Adrian, take it
For
over for a
apologies.
second. Talk to me a little bit about one player that could change the game for the Eagles. Give me the one player.
Well, the defensive line, I think, will the Fletcher Cox with his deep penetration. But you look at this New England offensive line. It's not the sexiest in the world, and they lost Marcus Cannon earlier this season, their right tackle. So right now, Cameron Fleming is going to be going up against Brandon Graham and Chris Long. I think that's a huge mismatch. Shaq Mason is going to be the one that's going to be going up against Fletcher Cox. Yeah, that's not going to go well. Their center is David Andrews, so, whatever. Joe Tunney is their left guard, third-round pick in 2016.
Joe Tunney.
Yeah. So Timmy Jernigan's going to have himself a ball game. Wow. Nate Solder is solid, left tackle.
Always solid.
Yeah, he's solid. But you look at the rest of those four, who's scaring you out there?
Well, that's the thing. That's what I mean, we've been talking about this. They can be beat.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They can be beat.
This
I mean,
is not
this
your
is,
normal Patriots.
No, it's not.
Team. Like
And
we think of when we met in 2004, that we ran into a dynasty.
Yeah.
That was a dynasty. And technically, this is.
And they still weren't even that good. I mean, like, honestly, they were a dynasty, but that team we played in 2004, I mean, who was the number one receiver? Deion Branch? David
it
Givens?
was a fantastic defense.
I mean,
That's what
right,
it
but I'm
was.
just saying, when you look at the offensive side of the ball, you're like, what?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this line can be battle tested. This line can be beat. So, I think that's where we win the game, right up front. In
Right
the
in the
trenches,
trenches.
right?
Oh, yeah.
In the trenches.
In the trenches. And it was good to hear, you know what? It was good to hear Fletcher Cox talk about that yesterday. He was like, look, we know that if we get Brady off his mark, that's how he's beatable.
That's what it's all about disrupting the timing. It's not necessarily getting to him. It's just making sure the timing between he and the wide receivers.
But you know he's going to do that 2-3 step drop like Eli did against the Eagles.
And that's why I think it's important to press the line of scrimmage to disrupt that timing. But I don't know if Jim Schwartz is going to do that because he hasn't really done that all season.
Okay.
Coverage.
Looking a little bit on Periscope. Yeah, we're still going through it. We're still, changing some things. It's just funny how some of this video stuff gets a little jumbled and a little glitchy at times. But Periscope, shout out to all the people that are watching us on Periscope. And shout out to everyone that's tuning in on Facebook Live. Those are our two avenues right now for PhillyAmster.com.
Before we went on, I actually wanted to say one thing I didn't get a chance to when you were going through it. To Derek Barnett, I think he's benefiting from having all those all the like veteran guys around him, like your Chris Longs, your Brandon Grahams, your Vinny Carries. He's not being pressed to produce now.
It's huge.
So I think that's. I mean, not that Marcus Smith was pressed to produce immediately. But I think he's benefiting from the veterans around him, and I think it's only making him a better, more effective pass rusher.
It makes sense. It makes sense because when you ask these guys to do too much, at early stages of their career, who knows, man?
Meltdown.
Yeah, I mean, look at Markelle Fultz.
Yeah.
I hate to say it like that, but I think there's truth to that. I mean, all of a sudden we're talking about this guy. I watched a video of him from frickin' July. This guy was like, "Oh, let me clean out videos from my phone."
Oh yeah,
Celtics
him just
reporter.
draining jumpers.
And he's just out there so pure and just boop, boop, boop. And then now it's just like,
What happened?
what the hell happened?
It is the most.
He needs to go see Nelson Aguilar's psychologist.
It's the most mysterious story in all of sports.
Not yet. Not yet. It's going to be.
Well, when he doesn't play, he's not playing this
Well,
year.
did you see his
I'm
tweet?
not arguing you.
Did you see his tweet? Said don't trust no one.
Yeah,
Whatever
apparently
it was.
a reporter came out and said that it was a word. It was like psycho or whatever. I don't even know what the hell the word was. And the reporter walked it back. It was a tweet, and I still don't even know the story. I was running around all freaking day, so I don't know the full
I didn't see
details of
anything.
it. But I know that he was upset that he came out and he put a tweet out like, "Don't trust no one," and and it's just like whatever. But hey, man, look. They're winning games going into that Oklahoma City game. They won 9-11. Now they just lost the last two. Don't get me wrong. But, they turned the corner, and they were able to show you that they're winning games. Hopefully Joel Embiid plays back-to-backs this weekend. And hey, now.
Well, that's what happened last January, too. That's when they got hot.
Yeah.
And then Joel Embiid got hurt.
That's true. And shout out to the Flyers. We got the second half coming
That's
up
all
here.
you, man.
Who?
That's all you. Talk some
Who?
Flyers.
Claude Giroux.
Hey.
All-star game.
Scored a goal.
Scored a goal.
Scored a goal in a breakaway.
Yep, 57 points in the first 49 games. He scored 50. He had 58 points total in 82
don't look
games
at me
last
like
year.
that.
What did Lavi infamously say? He's the best player in the world.
Yeah, and ever since then, it's been.
He's on the comeback. And
Little
Coots
bit.
is on the rise, baby.
A little bit. Well, how much could you expect from Claude Drew? That's my question.
100-point season. It's coming.
That's amazing. If he gets a
It's
100-point
coming.
season, look out.
And give him the Hart Trophy.
I would never have bet on that. That's for sure. All right, back to the Eagles in the Super Bowl, 'cause that's all that matters right now. All right,
Absolutely. Yep.
Nick Foles. Let's focus a little bit on our quarterback here, our sunshine.
Nicky Sunshine.
And Nicky Sunshine. As unfortunately, the NFL Network is showing the Patriots.
Deion Branch just scored a touchdown.
He was the MVP of that game.
Yes, he was.
Givens scored.
Oh, that was
Givens?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
right.
Yeah, we had a 7-0 lead going to the 2-minute warning.
That's true. That's true. And you were 11 years old. How
All
do
of
you remember
11.
that?
Yeah, no, I'm getting mad watching this. I don't remember it.
Talk a
This is
little
the
bit
first
about.
time I've seen it in HD. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, talk a little bit about Nick Foles, and just again, I'm a little worried that the first quarter is going to be a little oomph. It's going to be a little tough for him, and it's a natural human element,
Yeah,
But
and we'll see what the looks are from Matt Patricia and what he's going to do, because I do expect them to mix a lot of different things, throw a lot of different things at him, see how he handles it.
does
So-
Nick Foles throw an interception?
Yes.
He does.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see them trying to run an RPO. He makes a bad decision, and one of those linebackers who buzzes picks one off. I can see that.
Okay. Well, that's fair. And again, it's not the end of the world if he does throw an interception.
No, not at all.
So
Listen, he doesn't have to throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns to win this game, right? I think can we all agree on that?
No, yeah.
He just needs to be, precise. He needs to be efficient. If he turns the ball over once, that's okay, but he can't throw 3 picks. He can't get happy feet. He can't fumble. Listen, we know what he's got to do. 200 yards, a couple touchdowns, I think gets a win.
and allow
really do.
and allow to play the breathe like he did against the Vikings, where he stayed steady in the pocket, and guys like Alshon were able to get loose. Those are the type of things that may be the difference in this game.
And that's
against
going
the
to come down
Patriots.
to O-line and protecting him.
Very true.
Yo, Adrian, how's the Patriots running defense? Do you know that off?
I don't know off the top of my head, but obviously the Eagles are third in rush offense. So I think that's going to be important as well, because if you run the football, that drains the clock. And I think limiting the possessions in this game is important. Keep Tom Brady off the field. So your normal game has like 12 possessions in it. I think if you make this like an 8 to 10 possession game, that's what you want. That's what they did against Atlanta. And if you do that here, it's another recipe to win.
Okay.
Easy enough.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. And I expect the run game again. Everyone to get a piece. Ajayi, Corey Clement. He's gonna get a couple touches. And LeGarrette Blount. Who knows? That revenge factor might be out there for him. And it might fire him up a little bit more. I don't think that you got to worry about LeGarrette doing that.
They did limit Fournette last week to 3.2 yards per carry, but obviously that's basically their offense. So we talked about how they take your star out. That's what they did last week. Eight men in the box, stopped him. I believe it was 24 for 76 was Fournette's final number. So
If you put 8 in the box, I think Nick Foles is good enough to be able to pick apart the outside, especially in a controlled environment like it's going to be in a dome.
Yeah.
I think you can't stack the box against us right now.
And the thing is, the Eagles have actually shown that they can run against an 8-man box because of the personnel that they'll trot out there. They go and put the extra linemen out there. They'll have 2 tight ends out there. So you can match the beef with the beef, because you can have 8 men on the line of scrimmage. Lots of beef. That's what's for dinner.
Beef.
I think the only thing, and I'm not going to get a lot of fans here, and
Uh-oh.
maybe this
Here
no,
comes the
because it's
Urker.
been on my mind, and I guarantee when I say this, like I knew Tony was going to say this, but there was a thing that came out. Nick Foles press conference today. They asked him about the moment and about what it means to him. And listen, I get it. I have a daughter of my own, 2 kids of my own, 2 boys besides my daughter.
Man up, Tony's
all right?
gonna say.
Exactly. Grow a set of balls. Man up. I'm sorry, but I do not want to hear my quarterback say, you know what? If we don't win the Super Bowl, at least I know when I go home, my daughter's waiting for me. Screw that. This isn't the time for that.
Wow.
That's not, and listen, I'm not trying to be a pessimist, but at the end of the day, this is the biggest game of your career.
Yeah.
You want to win this game, right? You want to win this game. I mean, am I wrong
Well, he's getting
for
choked
saying
up
it?
in the moment.
Yeah, but no, we don't need that though.
Well,
We don't need that.
No.
That scares me. That scares
like
me.
I said, I think.
So does that mean when he throws if he throws 2 picks and he only throws, he's 9 for 21 in the first half, he goes, you know what? Haley's at home. She'll give me a hug when I get by.
Hey, man,
it'll be okay.
Isn't there truth?
I'm just saying.
The guy was talking about quitting football, and he's at the biggest stage, and he got choked up in the
It's
moment.
Nick Foles, though.
Well,
I mean, does anybody really care if Nick Foles is going to retire?
It's the Super Bowl.
I'm just saying.
You're talking about.
You're
now.
looking for stories.
You're talking, and you're looking for something to.
No,
bitch
I'm
about.
serious.
Get
You didn't
outta
think
here.
about that?
Get
You didn't think
outta
about
here.
that. Seriously.
No, I didn't think about that.
So not once in your mind was he might be a little soft.
No.
Oh, come
I'm a
on.
crier.
What's wrong with you?
I
people?
cry up
just
there,
thought of it.
too.
He just kind of showed his human side.
We all have a human
Yeah,
side,
no,
but
I didn't look
But
at
this
it
is
like
the
that.
Super Bowl, man. It's always me.
Yeah,
That's
it is
okay.
always you.
It's okay.
always
It
me.
is always
Tony.
you.
I'm sorry. That's just not what I want to hear.
I
I'm
love
sorry.
it. Well,
okay.
that's you.
Someone's gotta
That's-
do it.
Yeah, that's
Somebody's got to do it.
the Urker.
I'm not going to do it, but someone's got to do it.
All right, big picture on this, and then we're going to do final thoughts and then wrap this bad boy up. Super Bowl 52 edition. But Super Bowl, the Urker did bring this up earlier, and I thought it was a good question. When you think about the Super Bowl, give me, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Here it is. Obviously, the Eagles are playing and as we're watching
gonna
the
sound hypocritical.
2004 right here. But, yeah,
It is.
hypocrite.
No, it is. When I tell you my answer, it's going to be hypocritical.
Yeah, here you go. Give me your what's your moment when you think about the Super Bowl? Super Bowl week is here. What's your moment?
It's funny because it's kind of symbolic to me and my childhood growing up. So I remember Adrian might be able to help me out. Denver Broncos, Washington Redskins, Doug Williams.
Yep.
I don't know what Super Bowl that was. And the only reason,
second quarter.
the only reason why that's the first thing I think of when I hear the word Super Bowl is because when I was growing up, I had 2 foster brothers, and that was the day they got taken away and went back to their legitimate mom. So I know we're talking about Nick Foles being caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
But I know, but I'm not. I don't have to play the game. Okay,
hypocrite.
but no. At the end of the day, that for me, I just remember being all hyped up about that game and then kind of being down for the whole game because knowing they were gone. So that's just my Super Bowl moment.
Okay.
All right, well,
Adrian?
I got 2 words. I got Broad Street. So when I was at Temple, when the Phillies won it all, and that was a crazy scene, and that was awesome. And, I cannot wait to see what that scene's going to be like this time around if the Eagles win it all. I will be at a bar about a block or 2 away from Broad Street with E-Rock. E-Rock's got
The Fourth and John crew.
yeah, so they got a couple people coming for. So I guess E-Rock rented out a bar for the night at Keene.
Of course he did.
Yeah, of course he did. So we're gonna be right there, all up in the madness. I'm gonna have Crisco all over myself, but I cannot wait to see the madness on Broad Street. It's gonna be amazing.
Actually, I want to break that down for you. As I bring this down, Crisco is out. There's a new weapon to stop pole climbing, Eagles fans. Yeah, that's what ESPN is reporting, or the Associated Press. Philadelphia police think they found something better than Crisco to keep Philadelphia
Is
fans.
it like
from climbing.
jalapeno oil? Like,
Yeah, right. You climb that, you get some hot.
Foles climbing? Can we say Foles climbing?
Foles
Yeah.
climbing? No. A contingent of workers who jokingly called themselves the Crisco Cops applied shortening to light poles before the NFC Championship game, but it failed to stop fans.
Crisco cops.
Yeah, and that was the best thing.
Imagine
Like,
going 4 years, get an education, you become a Crisco cop.
and that was the best part where everybody was like, oh, yeah, you don't think I can climb that pole? Fuck your pole. Fuck your grease. That's all you kept on hearing in those videos. It was great.
Oh.
Great stuff.
You brought that up. I did get baptized last week. I destroyed him in our little.
Oh, the beer bong.
I
I
caught
did
that.
see that. I did see that. I
What do you
did see
mean
that.
destroyed?
Yeah,
did see that.
I was done
Listen,
in like 2 seconds.
you know what? That's great. All I have to say, wait a minute. All I have to say is, at least I didn't get baptized. I wasn't on my knees, so the video is not going to show me on my knees. Okay, so you can.
That's
hey,
Kyle
listen,
Kaepernick method.
There's 2 things that happened in that video. You sucked, you sucked the hell out of that beer, and you were on your knees. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, it's a good tactic.
I don't
for-
care
for the
what he
beer bong.
says.
Yeah,
That was
You're
super
trying-
impressive,
You're trying
man.
to save face. You're trying.
really not, because I did it, and I'm all good.
Yeah, I was. That was gone like 2 gulps.
Love it. Super Bowl memories. Anything for you? First one that comes to mind?
I don't really. I was too young to remember the one that's on TV now, Super Bowl 39. I don't remember too much about it, but I guess we're just going to talk about Super Bowl. I watch every Eagles game with my dad. and that's my thing, including the Super Bowl. So this one's going to be a good one. I'm really
Hell
looking forward to this.
Yeah,
so
man.
It'll be his first Super Bowl as well.
Enjoy that.
Potentially.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just give me one before I die.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Enjoy that moment, man. Enjoy that moment. That's good stuff. For me, it's I don't know. I kind of think of Andre Rison. Or no, was it Rison that returned that touchdown for the Packers? Or was
Desmond Howard.
or Desmond Howard? It was. That's who it
Yeah.
was. Yeah. Yeah.
Andre Rison, Bills and Falcons. Thinking of. Or was he on the Bills? No, he wasn't.
No,
I'm
he
thinking
didn't.
Andre
No,
Reed.
yeah,
My
yeah,
bad.
Andre Reed with
My
the
bad.
with
Andre
Bills,
Rison
yeah.
was Falcons.
Steve Young with the monkey off my back is a memory that I remember. They
There you
blew
go.
out the San Diego Chargers. John Elway with the spin.
Yeah.
That's a memory that I'll have. I mean, look.
I remember those Giants years with Bavaro and Phil
Yeah.
McConkey and Dave Meggett and
Going up against the Broncos
yeah,
team.
man.
Yeah.
I mean, you just think about it, and the ugly ass sweaters Parcells used to wear. That you know what I mean?
Now are being sold at Mitchell Ness for $150.
Are they really?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Wow.
Those ugly ass sweaters are back in style.
Unfortunately, all my memories involve this asshole we're facing this week, and usually
It's the
usually
truth.
good ones. So
It's the
I'm
truth.
hoping to make a new one of that not being a thing.
No, you're so right because I think of Adam Vinatieri hitting a field goal to win it every time. Like that's what I think of.
I think of that. I think of James White walking into the end zone to win in overtime last year, and that burns me up.
Ooh, yeah. And then
And how much I hate this overtime rule.
and Pete Carroll throwing the football, Malcolm Butler coming up with that interception.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got Marshawn Lynch on your
I
team.
will throw in. I like all the. I guess like Marshawn like loving the hate for that. Like what was that thing from the league where he's like don't throw that beer. I'll run it over there.
yeah,
I'm literally 2 yards away.
Yeah.
You don't gotta throw it. I'll run it over
Still,
there.
and it's just like, damn, Pete, what the hell were you thinking?
Who
What
knows?
were you thinking?
Who knows?
Do you want to do a quick? I got a couple
you got a couple
questions before we
questions?
forget.
Bring it,
all right?
bring it.
That's some good ones.
So,
So Marcus says, if Foles wins, do you guys think Wentz will have added pressure to win a Super Bowl? If Foles wins, do you think Wentz will have added pressure to win a
yes,
Super Bowl?
I laughed at that, but the way that the question is, of course, yeah, there'll be pressure. There's going to be pressure on Carson Wentz. He knows he's going to be fine, but there's going to be pressure. The only thing I'm worried about is him rushing back. You know, like, oh man, I got to get back on there in the field. But this is a good thing. You know, Nick Foles is under contract. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I
just did a video on that.
Yeah.
I actually think I kind of looked at all the teams and all the situations. There's 9 teams that need a quarterback that I think that need a new quarterback potentially. But the thing is the draft is loaded with quarterbacks this year. So I don't know where Nick Foles would potentially go. So I think he's coming back.
Yeah, I think he's coming back as
Yeah.
well, and I think that's a good move by the Eagles. This way, you don't have to rush your franchise guy
I
back.
play him the first month of the season. Don't rush.
Well, you
Wentz
have
back.
to. You have to because look, Carson Wentz got hurt in what, November?
Might have even been December. Yeah, it was December.
Was it December?
Like early December.
All right, so 10 months before that is October. So if he gets back and he's 100% healthy in 10 months, which is whoa, that's pretty impressive. I'm not saying it's out of the world. It can't happen, but I think it could happen. That's October. You know, you're just throwing him right into the fire. You know, I think Nick Foles with the training camp, you got to hang on to him at this point in time.
I'm gonna say I do think there's gonna be pressure on him by people like us, people with opinions to put them out there. I don't think he's gonna put the pressure on himself, or
Yeah.
not as much. I guess rather he's not going to fold under pressure.
Sure.
I think he's a stronger man than that.
He
think
loves
he
it.
Will.
Yeah, he loves it.
I think this is probably, as bad as it sounds, this is definitely a pretty good situation for him to be in.
Well, you know, he talked about it last night. He said it's definitely there's a human element. He said where it bothers me that I'm not able to celebrate my people. But bottom line is, it's going to drive me and motivate me too next year.
I think you guys are all crazy.
What?
There's no reason for him to have pressure to win a Super Bowl if Nick Foles wins.
I'm saying
The only reason why we're here at this point is because of Carson Wentz. So for us to sit here and say
Yeah.
he's going to have pressure to win,
well, I
no
think
friggin'
him
way.
putting added pressure. Is there an added?
I don't think so.
Element
He's,
of added pressure.
he's such a calm cat, man. He's so mild mannered. He
I
just
totally
goes about
hear
his
you.
business.
Yes.
I don't think it bothers him one bit.
Different question that you're answering
Yeah,
though.
it's a
You're
different
answering.
question.
You're answering. Will it bother him?
Well, no, because I'm playing off what you just said. You say he'll put pressure on himself.
Yeah, I think he will.
So I don't think he will. I don't
I don't think it will bother him one bit. But I think
so.
he's
Right.
going to say, you know what? damn it, I'm getting back there. I mean, for crying out loud, they won 7 games last year, right? Would they go 7 games? And he looked at Fletcher Cox and says, next year we go all the way.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's kind of grit determination. I don't think that's pressure. I don't think he's going to worry about Nick Foles winning a Super Bowl. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
no, I meant from the team aspect. The team got so far that I have to get back there. We got to get back there. Again, you're probably right.
But you did say October. What did we sit here and say? Remember, I said you agree. I said I don't think. Get ready. He's not going to be ready to play this year.
Hell no.
And for people to think he's going to be here September, you're crazy.
These articles that are being written right now and all that, it's like, wait a minute.
And remember, he didn't talk for a while, right? We all wondering what's going on. Then it came out the injury was a little more severe than we all thought.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Take
we
your
could be
time.
and that's the thing. That's why you keep Nick. You keep Nick here. Let him start the season, play the first 4, 6, 7, 8 games, and then we see what happens.
Hey,
Here's what
whatever they
too.
do, I'm
Here's
down
what I'll
with.
say too. Even if Foles doesn't return, I have enough confidence in Doug Peterson that he can take a quarterback.
How about that?
And make him and
about
win
that?
some
How about
games.
Yeah.
How about
Oh
that?
yeah, if Foles just has to keep him in position until Wentz gets back next season. That's all he really has to do.
Dougie Doug. Yes. Yeah.
Doug has
Trust
thrown
it.
a lot of balls the
Yes,
last
he has.
eight weeks.
Trust it.
We went about an hour here, boys, and we're going to end on some predictions here. I know that we kind of really just gave them, but I'll start. Give me your MVP and give me your final score. It's over. I think that it's finally done. This city hoists the Lombardi Trophy. You can no longer say anything to Brian Dawkins, Don McNabb, Jaws, Westbrook, anybody that's ever put on the Eagles uniform about how they've come up. They always come up short. That all comes to an end on Sunday. The Eagles finally win a Super Bowl and take down big bad New England. And MVP, well, I didn't think about that either as I asked this question. I'm not going to go Nick Foles.
I've tried to make it like a priority, like to not say him.
Yeah,
I want to try.
I think that's the easy one.
Yeah, exactly.
I said Ajayi is going to score a touchdown. I'm feeling Ajayi is going to have a breakout, like just 2 touchdowns, 85 yards rushing, 50 yards receiving, breaks a screen. Maybe he has a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. Give me a Jay Ajayi as the Super Bowl MVP. Out of the box, whatever. Give me Ajayi. And final score 29-23. Birds. Amp?
First prediction didn't get brought up yet. Not quite Super Bowl related. It's going to be a Dawkins weekend. Dawkins is going to get in the Hall.
Yo!
It's Saturday night.
Yeah.
Dawkins to the Hall.
He better.
Second, like I said, it's going to be a Dawkins weekend. He currently works for the Eagles. He is a member of the front office or something to that effect. He is going to get his Super Bowl ring. Mm-hmm. Eagles mark it. Eagles winning 27-24.
Yep, it's my score.
And so my call is Tom Brady throws an interception on the last drive to none other than Malcolm Jenkins, who will be your Super Bowl MVP.
Malcolm is Super Bowl MVP. Jenkins.
Wow.
Okay.
So you stole my thunder a little
And
bit.
Doc.
That's okay, because I always go A and B, just in case. So I got 2. I'm still going to stick to my prediction, 24-23 Eagles.
24.
Okay.
23. Oh, my God.
And I'm going to go MVP, 3 seconds left. Jake Elliott hits a 48-yard field goal.
My dude Legatron.
It's 23-21, 3 seconds left. Boom, and the city goes nuts.
All right, so I'm going to change my MVP. I had Nelson Aguilar originally, but now that I think about it more, I think that the deep penetration from Fletcher Cox is going to be overwhelming. So I think back to when Von Miller won the MVP and how much of a mismatch it was going against the Carolina right tackle. His name is escaping my mind.
Jordan Gross?
It wasn't. No. It was some no-name guy.
Oh,
it was
was
a
it?
backup.
It was. Yeah.
And he
I couldn't
completely
help
made
it.
mincemeat of him. So this matchup against Shaq Mason, I think Fletcher Cox can go to town and go to work, and I'm looking at Fletcher Cox causing major disruptions on Sunday.
Okay. Final score?
27-24.
27-24. All homers here. We got the Birds hoisting the
We're all
Lombardi.
around the same area, which is good.
Well,
I like
you-
it. Because
if
you can feel it.
If
You know what I
pick
mean?
against the Eagles today, you're an
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to
Even
it.
Urker's not picking against them.
Yeah. And I know that there were some people out there, the one kid from Bleeding Green Nation who put eggs over his head because he had the Vikings. Look, I mean,
Vince quit.
yeah, I'm fine with you saying, but like he was adamant, like the Eagles were not going to win that game. Like no shot. It was all Vikings. I was just like, I don't know. Same thing right here.
What
Like,
do you get out of being a realist? Like what, or a realist? Like what do you get out of that? Like the opportunity to say I was right at the end of the day. You're an asshole.
Well, and that's the thing.
You're a dick.
Actually,
You're a dick.
It's funny that you say that because I try to be a realist on my YouTube show. So I do.
So
but,
what do you
but
get
I
out of
don't,
it?
But I don't brag when I'm right. Like
No, that's the thing. You can't. So
Yeah.
what do you get out of it? You don't get shit.
I just like being unbiased. I think it's that's the right way to go.
Yeah, but and again, I don't think. Look, we all selected Kansas City in week 2. I
Yeah.
mean, we call it as you see it. But there was nothing that told me that the Eagles were going to lose that game against the Vikings. There's nothing that's telling me besides Tom Brady and his 5 Super Bowls prior, which that has dick to do with Sunday. It does. And Bill Belichick would tell you that to your face. What they've done has nothing to do with what is happening on Sunday. It's one game.
Yeah.
That's it. Win this game, change the franchise history forever. Any given Sunday, damn right.
Yep.
As cliche as it is, it's the truth.
Might be seeing a changing of the guard in the NFL. Maybe.
Bold.
You never know.
Brady to Foles.
The dynasty might be going from New England and it traveled down a little south
I can dig
to
that.
Philadelphia.
29-23,
City of brotherly love.
27-24, 24-23, and 27-24, all Eagles. Jay Ajayi, Malcolm Jenkins, Jake Elliott. Jake Elliott would be the first kicker to ever win MVP, right? That was you? Yeah, that was you.
Maybe,
And
yeah.
Fletcher Cox and Brian Dawkins gets in the Hall of Fame, all right? Good stuff, boys. I can't wait. I apologize. There's still some glitches and things we got to work through. Obviously, the microphone, I have no idea why that wasn't picking up. But it's unfortunate for a big Super Bowl 52 show. It wasn't as clean as I would like it. But, these are the growing pains we're going to go through. And when we're talking about Super Bowl victory, everything will be straightened out and ready to go. That's for damn sure. But for Adrian Fedke, Tony Cotillo, and Anthony Mazziotti, Amaz. I am Sean
Amaz.
Brace. This is PI Live. Go Birds. Win this frickin' Super Bowl, man.
Fly,
Shut
Eagles,
everybody up,
fly.
all right?
Go Birds.
Go Birds.